Good day, everyone. Our report is about the Module 3, the sociological foundations of physical education and sports. When we say sociological foundation, it is an issues from society, including groups and institutions, and the culture and their contribution to education. It is refers to issues from society that have an influence on curriculum. Okay, so now let's go to the lesson 1. Okay, so what is sociology? Okay, so sociology is the study of people, groups, institutions, human activities in terms of social behavior and social order within society. So the main focus of sociology is concerned with the study of human social behavior and the influence of society upon this behavior. Okay, so it is concerned about institutions and society such as religion, family, government, education, and leisure. Some examples of sociology include studying racial issues, gender dynamics, phenomena, and feelings around entertainment, the structure of different social institutions, and the development of different social movements. For example, someone is studying when they attend a religious service of a religion that isn't their own. So that is an example of sociology, that someone is studying a religion that isn't their own. Okay, so sociology can help us to understand ourselves better since it examines how the social world influence the way we think, feel, and act. Sociologists can gather systematic information from which to make a decision, provide insights into what is going on in a situation, and present alternatives. Sociology is useful because sociology increases the understanding and power of social action. Sociology studies the role of social institutions like home, school, church, and etc. in the development of the individuals. Sociology provides critical insights and perspective to the solution of social problems. Auguste Comte, 1798 to 1857. Okay, so Auguste Comte is the father of sociology. He is a French philosopher and writer who formulated the doctrine of positivism. So he is often regarded as the first philosopher of science in the modern sense of the term. So again, Auguste Comte is the father of sociology. Okay, so now let's go to the lesson 2. Sociology of sports. Okay, so sociology of sports, alternately referred to as sports sociology. It is a subdiscipline of sociology which focuses on sports as social phenomena. It is an area of study concerned with the relationship between sociology and sports, and also various socio-cultural structures, patterns, and organizations or groups involved with sports. So this area of study discusses the positive impact sports have on individual people and society as a whole, economically, financially, and socially. Okay, so sociology of sports attempts to view the actions of behavior of sports teams and their players through the eyes of sociologists. Sports sociologists critically examine the functions, impacts, and rules that sports have on different societies. Okay, so now let's go to the goals of sports sociology. Okay, so the first one, goals. Factors underlying the creation and the organization of sports. So that is the first one, goal. Second, relationship between sports and other aspects of society such as family, education, and the media. Third, influence of sports and sport participation on individuals' beliefs relative to equity, gender, race, ethnicity, disability, and other societal issues. And fourth is the social dynamics within the sports setting is that organizational structure, group actions, and interactions pattern. Fifth, the influence of cultural, structural, and situational factors on the nature of sport and the sport experience. And sixth, the social processes associated with sport, including competition, socialization, conflict, and change. Okay, so now, what does a sport sociologist do? Okay, so first, studies the behavior of individuals and groups within the sports milieu. And second, influence of social relationships, past social experiences, and the social setting of sport activities on their behavior of groups and individuals in sport. Okay, so according to Cockley, sports are institutionalized competitive activities that involve rigorous physical exertion or the use of relatively complex physical skills by participants motivated by personal enjoyment and external rewards. So that is what is Cockley said. Harry Edwards, born on 1942, and he is now 79 years old. He is the father of sociology of sports. He is considered by many to be the founder of sports sociology. He is an American sociologist and civil rights activist rather. Okay, so again, Harry Edwards is the father of sports sociology or sociology of sports. Okay, so now let's go to the lesson 3. Okay, so what sports does for people? So that is the question. Okay, so first, emotional release. Second, affirmation of identity. Third, social control. Fourth, socialization. Fifth, agent for change. And sixth, collective conscious. And last as success. Okay, so in number 1, emotional release. So, playing sports have a great influence not only on physical and mental well-being, but also on emotional well-being or emotional release. So, when mind is focused on playing sports, particular sport, then it results in reducing the stress and anxiety level. So people who participate in sports have better self-perception than the people who don't play sports. Second, affirmation of identity. So in playing sports helps you to have a positive feelings and a strong sense of belonging. So to one's social groups. And the third, social control. So, to maintain conformity to established norms and rules. And fourth, socialization. It develops your social like skill, self-confidence, self-esteem, and uh, good peer relationship. Fifth, agent for change. Okay, so playing sports has the power to change the world. As we heard, sports unites people from all walks of life behind a common goal. So it creates opportunities for individual growth, improves physical, mental, and emotional health, as well as developing confidence and a sense of empowerment. And six, collective conscious. So it informs our sense of belonging and identity and our behavior. Okay, so sports have an immense impact on a person's daily life and health. So they do not just uh, give you an interesting routine but also a healthy body. So getting indulge in physical activities like sports improves your heart functions, reduces the risk of diabetes, and controls blood sugar, and lowers tension and stress levels. And lastly is success. Okay, so it is not about the wins and the losses. So success is the complex equation of overall and personal growth and achievement that occurs in every sport. So in playing sports, you are success because you have a peace of mind, which is a direct result of self-satisfaction and knowing you did your best to become the best that you are capable of becoming. So those are the benefits of sports for people. Okay, so another information and playing sports. So the benefits or the good benefits in playing sports. So the first one is playing sports helps you to reduce body fat or controls your body weight. And second, sports allow you will gain the satisfaction of developing your fitness and skills. Next is sports can help you fight depression and anxiety. And next is sports allows you to challenge yourself and set goals. And next is playing sports helps strengthen bones. Next, sports help aid coordination, balance, and flexibility. Next, many sports can help improve stamina and concentration. Next is sports allows you to experience the highs and lows of both winning and losing. And next is through sports you will meet people with a similar interest to yourself and are likely to gain many new friends. And next is sports are a great way for families to get exercise together. And last is if you are sporty, then you are more likely to have a healthy lifestyle.
My topic is about the sociological implications or the result of educational sports in physical education. So physical educations and sports play a vital role in promoting the social values or the social behavior among the youth, which means that physical education and sports is very important and has a big impact in the social values of the youth. While as imparting or carrying an important social values among the youth, such as fairness, which means being fair, especially in the game, self-discipline, having self-control, solidarity, having unity or especially in team or group, team spirit, helping and teaching others or being above, and tolerance, the ability or willingness to tolerate something or to be able to have acceptance. So, educational sports refers to the teaching and instruction of specific games and activities which are provided as part of structured learning program such as physical education. So the educational sports refers to the teaching and instruction. So it means that this is where the instructor or the coach recommend using or instruct the step-by-step process. Just like for example, in basketball, if you want to learn basketball, then you have to study the step-by-step process and to be able to interact with the other player. And this is where you enter the social value as a player. So that is why it was being provided as part of the structured learning program, such as a physical education. Applying the definition as a sort of litmus test. Does the study of people, groups, human activities, family, education, and leisure have to do with or apply to educational sports? Educational sports play an important role to the communities, especially to students. Students increase the chances to learn new methods and gain knowledge, and increase the ability to apply their skills and expertise more creatively. In educational sports, it helps you to acquire some of leadership, social, and other relevant skills. It also helps them interact with other students and can form or build a new friendship. Why are certain activities taught in the educational setting, and do they in turn impact society? Absolutely yes. It has a big impact to the society because it is where people, or it is where the relationship between sports and society focuses in everyday life. It is how we deal a social relationship and interaction with other people. The sociological implications of sports in the education are described by the text as a medium that permits or to pass through force nearly every important aspect of our life.
Good day, everyone. This is Rhea A. Marino, and my topic will be all about violence. So, violence is any type or form of excessive behavior with the goal of injuring or harming another individual against his or her will. So, the keyword here is to harm or to hurt someone. Violence can happen in any places, in any workplace, and it is also visible in sport. So the next slide will be all about violence in sport. Violence is not new to sport. Am I right? Yes, because even before, violence is already existed. Because of your willingness to win, you are overextensioning your physical body, so that can cause violence. So the second one is bench clearing or brawls in sports. So bench is um this occurs usually in baseball and ice hockey, so which every player on both teams leaves their dugouts, ballpens, or benches and charge the playing area in order to fight one another or try to break up a fight. So this is usually happen in the field where all the players are fighting, and then that's it. That's a kind of violence in sport. So the next one is enforcers on some teams. So this is an This is an individuals and a team charged with protecting their own players by intimidating the opponents. So this is very understandable. So the fourth one is violence at the upper levels of sports influence actions of children and youth at lower levels of sports with the help of media glamorizing it. So the young generation who are really into sports are always watching this kind of um entertainment videos or this kind of videos at home. So what they saw, what they see in that video, they will also portray or they will also imitate that kind of actions because that is what they have noticed, that is what they have s- seen in the video. So um they will also portray that one. So if that is kind of action that causes violence, so that should not be tolerated. So um it is very important to teach the young ones what's the best and what's the things that should not be um should not be done. So the last one is the spectator violence and parental violence. So let us first discuss the spectator violence. So this is any violent activity that occurs among those attending a sporting event. So these are the people who are watching the game or the sport, and they're the one who are saying boo and so on. And yeah, this includes verbal abuse, throwing of missiles such as battles, and property destruction and physical assaults. So that that's it. And then for the parental abuse, this is of to like when the game is getting intense, and then if their child were involved in that kind of argument, so they are there to fight to save their child. So violence happen. So to avoid this kind of abuse, avoid confronting a crazy parent, and then do cheer and encourage, but don't be obnoxious. Do not be highly offensive or exposed to something harmful. And then the last one is talk through issues with the coach in private. So that is the best thing to do. So we are done discussing the different violence that happen in sport. So let us now proceed in how we deal this kind of violence in sport. So the first one here is no single simple solution. So there is no single solution because there is no single trigger, and no simple solution because the causes are complex, and this applies to both on field and off field violence. So the second one is how violent is too violent? Where do you draw the line? So when you see that it is already harming someone, it is already not good. So that's that is where we can conclude that this is already violence. The violence already happened. So let us not consider the those kinds of actions, so that it can be prevented and we can passively stop it. So the fourth one is stricter penalties should be imposed at all levels of sport. So in order to deal with these kinds of violence that happened in sporting events, so this is very important to um implement or to have stricter penalties, so that we can lessen those kinds of abuses, those kinds of violence that is very rampant nowadays. So I think this is a good one. So the last one is playing within the spirit of the game and rules, and respecting opponents will reduce violence. So do you agree with this? So it is very important that if we join this kind of events or this kind of sports, we know our boundaries, our limitations, and we are able to respect. In that way, we can possibly reduce violence because we are already understanding the situation. We know what we are doing. We have rules that needs to be followed. That is why sporting behavior is very important, especially when you are into sports, whether in victory and defeat. So that ends my discussion with this topic. Thank you so much for listening and
Good
God bless us
afternoon,
all.
sir. My report is about Lesson 6 Olympic Games. The history of Olympic Games, which originated in ancient Greece as many as 2,800 years ago, were revived in the late 19th century and have becoming the world's preeminent sporting competition. From the 8th century BC to the 4th century AD, the Games were held every 4 years in Olympia, located in the western Peloponnese Peninsula in honor of the god Zeus. The first modern Olympics took place in 1896 in Athens and featured 280 participants from 12 nations, competing 43 events. The man responsible for its rebirth was a Frenchman named Baron de Pierre de Coubertin, who presented the idea in 1894. A man who devoted his life to education, history, and sociology. In 1894, he founded the International Olympic Committee, or IOC. He started the Olympics to help build a peaceful and better world by educating young people through sports. Since 1994, the Summer and Winter Olympic Games have been held separately and have altered every 2 years. This has to be done to boost ratings, which were slowly declining until 2010 Games. IOC decided to stagger the Summer and Winter Games. Instead of holding both in the same calendar year, the committee decided to alternate them every 2 years, although both games would still be held on 4-year cycles. The 2020 Summer Olympic Games, delayed 1 year because of the COVID-19 pandemic, will be held from July 23 to August 8, 2021 in Tokyo, Japan. Olympic sports includes basketball, archery, artistic gymnastics, artistic swimming, athletics, badminton, baseball, softball, beach volleyball, BMX freestyle, BMX racing, boxing, canoe kayak flatwater, canoe kayak slalom, diving, equestrian, fencing, football, golf, handball, hockey, judo, karate, marathon swimming, modern pentathlon, mountain bike, rhythmic gymnastics, road cycling, rowing, rugby, sailing, shooting, skateboarding, sport climbing, surfing, swimming, table tennis, taekwondo, tennis, track cycling, trampoline, triathlon, volleyball, water polo, weightlifting, and wrestling. Sports includes alpine skiing, biathlon, bobsleigh, cross-country skiing, curling, figure skating, freestyle skiing, ice hockey, luge, Nordic combined, short track, speed skating, skeleton, ski jumping, snowboard, and speed skating. Olympic rings and flag. The flag has a white background with 5 interlaced rings in the center: blue, yellow, black, green, and red. This design is symbolic. It represents the 5 continents of the world united by Olympism, while the 6 colors are those that appear on all the national flags of the world at the present time. Olympic oath. The athlete then takes the following oath. We promise to take part in these Olympic Games, respecting and abiding by the rules and in the spirit of fair play, inclusion, and equality. Together we stand in solidarity and commit ourselves to sport without doping, without cheating, without any form of discrimination. Olympic creed and motto. The first Olympic oath at the Games of the modern era was written by Pierre de Coubertin. Olympic hymn. The Olympic hymn is a choral cantata composed by Greek opera composer Spyridon Samaras with lyrics by the Greek poet Kontisa Palamas. It was written by the first Summer Olympic Games in modern history, which took place in Athens and saw 40 nations and over 200 athletes compete in Greek capital. Olympic flame. The flame is one of the most important symbols of the Olympic Games. It represents the fire Prometheus stole from Greek god Zeus. In fact, the tradition of lighting the flame started in ancient Greece. Back then, organizers of the games kept a flame burning throughout the events. Olympic torches. A modern invention inspired by practices from ancient Greece, the Olympic torch relay heralds the start of the Olympic Games and and transmit a message of peace and friendship along its route. Olympic torch relay. It is the ceremonial relaying of the Olympic flame from Olympia, Greece, to the site of Olympic Games. It was performed at 1916 Summer Olympics and has taken place prior to every Games since. Olympic medals. An Olympic medal is awarded to successful competitors at one of the Olympic Games. There are 3 classes of medal to be won: the gold, silver, and bronze, awarded to first, second, and third place respectively. The granting of awards is told out in detail in the Olympic protocols. Opening ceremony. The opening ceremony of the Games usually is a dramatic celebration involving hundreds of people. It begins with the raising of the flag of the host of the country and the singing of its national anthem. There is a performance involving music, dancing, and colorful costumes, along with a high-tech lighting and special effects show. Closing ceremony. The proceedings combined the formal ceremonial closing of its international sporting event, including closing speeches, the parade of the athletes, and the founder of the Olympic flag with an artistic speeches to showcase the culture and the nature of its current and the host of the nation. National Anthem. National Anthem plays a big role in the Olympic Games. Starting with 1924 Games, the winners' national anthem for each event is played as their flag is raised to the celebration. And other traditions, the IOC has two official languages, the English and the French. Both languages are used to introduce competition at all IOC medal ceremonies and the opening ceremony, and all the IOC documents are in both English and French. So that ends my report. Thank you.